Okay, here, let me get the sun behind me or in front of me. All right, I'm back. So yesterday, well, the last video I did of my gear, it was kind of disorganized mess, and I was just kind of playing around, having fun with it, just seeing what it would be like to record myself while I was holding my camera, which is my phone. So anyway, so I'm back, and now I have all my stuff on my table, all my gear kind of spread out, nice, organized. So I'm going to go through it. This is what I take on a. This is a two-night backpacking trip. Okay, so we'll start over here. As I mentioned, I have some Sea to Summit dry bags. I don't know if they're called dry bags, but they're Sea to Summit bags. This is a. Oh, I should have looked it up. Anyway, this is yellow is a small one, yellow, red. There's a blue one there. So start out with. I bring a bunch of rope, paracord. Probably don't need it, but one of these days I'm going to put my tarp up and make good on a promise to myself to have like a little shelter, and this might be a good weekend to try it out. So I have a fire starter kit. This is Bushcraft Survival. I believe this was a Christmas present from my family, but it's got a flint steel ferro rod, something or other in there with some tinder fire starter. But I also have my backup, which is a pack of matches, and there is there's some fire starter, but also there's about 4 or 5 cotton balls with Vaseline. Moving on to some clothes, I always take, so this is a short sleeve nylon shirt, pair of underwear. I have merino wool blend socks. I take a handkerchief. I'm a Boy Scout, former Scoutmaster. Handkerchiefs can come in handy and do a lot of different things. You can use it as a splint for your arm, tourniquet, wipe off sweat, stuff like that. So that's just kind of like a little extra thing. It's kind of more, what's the word I'm looking for? Nostalgic, I think, from even when I was a Boy Scout back in the 70s, I think. You had a handkerchief was part of your uniform anyway. It was also useful for other things. So I have a balaclava hat because it's going to get down into the 30s. I don't think I'm going to need that, but I might. Anyway, there's a pair of, I don't know, I think they're like wool lined or fleece lined gloves. They're just some cheap little gloves to keep my hands warm just in case. I am not an experienced cold weather camper, so I do a lot of just in case packing. Anyway, this is my air mattress, Outdoorsman Lab air mattress. Love that thing. I talked about in my last video. This is a fleece top. It's all rolled up, but that's my mid layer for warmth, and it is polyester, nylon. I don't know, whatever fleece is made out of. It's not wool. It's synthetic, but it is really warm. I've used that a couple of times. This is my camp chair. I don't leave home without this anymore. This is a tarp. I probably will take it out of the bag, but that's the tarp that I'm going to take. I always take it just in case, even though I may or may not use it for a shelter. But I also like to use a tarp to spread out on the ground when I get to a campsite, or even just a spot to rest and I need to pull something out of my pack, particularly if it's been raining a lot and the ground is muddy or dirty, extra dirty. I like to put my stuff on top of that. All right, moving around the table. Of course, this is for now. This is Costco whiskey, Tennessee sour mash whiskey. It's actually pretty decent for $20 for a giant bottle of it. Hey, can't go wrong with that. Speaking of which, this is I grabbed these at the liquor store. So this is the Jim Beam stuff. Here's my trekking poles. This is my first time using trekking poles. These are Alpine Ozark Trail, which is I believe that's a Walmart brand. $20 for this pair. So we'll see how they hold up. Battery pack. This is an Anchor battery pack with a charger cord. And I don't know what the specs are, but I know I can probably charge my phone up about 6 or 7 times with that thing. And I'm taking it just because I use my phone primarily for my GPS and maps. I use a Gaia GPS map system, or app rather. So it burns through the battery sometimes, so I have that as a backup. These are my tent stakes, and I have some extras. There's a foam pad, which I use, I think I talked about in my last video. It's pretty lightweight, and you can squunch it down, and it is used for sleeping. And I stick this, it's a wedge for between my knees, because I need that to help mitigate lower back pain. This is an extra trash bag, so what I do is, rather than do a whole bag liner when it's raining in my pack, I have found that having a whole bag liner is a big pain in the rear end, and trying to pack a pack with that damn plastic getting all in the way and everything. Maybe I'm just not experienced enough, but I don't know about other backpacks, but mine, the Teton Sports Hiker 3700, has a waterproof or water sealant to it, or whatever it's called. So, and it's got a cover, so I'm not too worried about the stuff inside my bag getting wet, except for my sleeping bag. So that's what that's for. This is a Frog Togs, I think, poncho. I beat the hell out of this thing, and it still keeps water out, so I'm taking that with me. The Thermarest Z-Lite as part of my sleep system, right there. Talking a lot quicker this go around. Maybe I haven't had enough drink. Well, that was also my first time, and it was later in the evening. This is like in the early afternoon on Thanksgiving. And I got my stuff all laid out, so it's not like I'm trying to figure out what it is I'm looking at. It's all nice in order. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So, moving on to the other side of the table, I have Nalgene water bottle. And I mentioned this last time, so Kansas and Missouri Boy Scouts will recognize that. So I am a member of the tribe of Mickasay. I'm a honorary warrior. My tribal name is Graceful Guiding Cardinal. And I bring Gatorade. There's my bear spray. This is an air pump. I forgot about this. I use what is this? Flex Tail Gear air pump. It's great even though my air mattress is really pretty small and I have a pillow that I use it, but it's great. It pumps it up really fast. And you probably heard about the whole thing about if you use your lung air to inflate things, then moisture gets in there, and particularly in the wintertime, it can reduce the R value of your air mattress. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not. And also it could not exacerbate, but accelerate the potential for mildew and mold getting in, or mildew probably, getting inside your air mattress and whatever other inflatables you have. So I got a air pump for Christmas one year, and I like it, and it's kind of fun to have. This is one of my luxury items is my Yeti coffee, a Rambler mug. Holds a cup of coffee. This is my cook set. Last time I forgot to mention what all comes with my cook set. Let's see if I can So this is the top. It obviously didn't come with a fuel canister, but it's ISO, the propane butane blend. I'll get that out of there. Here's my MSR pocket rocket, which, I thought camp stoves, I didn't think it really mattered until this one. It comes with its own stove, but it's, obviously a cheaper version. I didn't think it really mattered, but I tell you what, I was having problems lighting up my stove when it was colder, and I thought it was because of this. And when I looked into it, this stuff has a very low freezing point. So I thought, well, maybe it is my stove. So I got me a pocket rocket. Never had any problems getting this thing alight or stay lit. So there you go. And I also, in the bottom, I keep, so here's my sport. And I just have an electro knife. I have a lighter in there, and this is a little stand for that came with the cook set. It also came with this silver cup and I can't ever think of whatever that material is. Anyway, that thing gets super hot, and I don't really like the cup all that much. I don't really use it to drink out of. I just drink water, and I drink straight from my water bottles, so I don't really take it. And what I like about it is your fuel canister fits right inside there. And it comes with this little drawstring bag, which is pretty cool. As I mentioned, I use the Sawyer water system. I'm going to take the mini this time because I got the squeeze, thinking the squeeze would be better and have a better flow rate, but I don't know. I've been hearing that the mini has a better flow rate, so we're We're going to find out. I'm not taking both of them anyway. There's the back flush plunge. There's a 1 liter system. Sorry, the water capture pouch, whatever the hell that thing's called. I bring a bunch of paper towels. I use shop towels, like Scott brand, I think. I get them at the automotive store. Anyway, stuff is heavy duty. I pull a full sheet off, I cut them in half, and then I fold them up, and I bring a boatload of them, probably way more than I need, but it's good to have on hand. Well, there's my key fob and my wallet. I'm sort of into the minimalist wallet now. I love this thing. I have no idea what brand it is, but it was like 15 bucks. Hairbrush, that is toilet paper, emergency poncho, microfiber towel. Probably a little bigger than I need, but I love that. It's great for, definitely dries out quickly when it gets wet. It's good for having around. Here's my toiletry bag, which also is probably bigger and heavier than I need, but it's got pretty much everything in there that I need. Wipes, soap. I definitely don't need that big of a soap. I don't know if you heard that, but my 17-year-old is in there screaming at his video game. I'm about to go in there and give him the business, so if he doesn't knock it off. So I definitely don't need all that soap, but anyway, that's all I got for now. A bunch of other stuff in here, toothpaste, toothbrush, floss, earplugs, which fortunately I haven't needed to use. This, if you hadn't noticed, I wear glasses. I'm sure you noticed. If you don't know what these are a glass strap. Basically, if your glasses fall off your face, these are attached to the earpiece, and you won't drop them on the ground, because I've done it twice now on backpacking trips, and I almost broke my glasses completely because they fell off my face when I was, bent over. And fortunately, they're still under warranty, and I got them fixed for free. This is my first aid pouch, which is basically Band-Aids and gauze. That's my compass. I am old school, cheap-ass compass. But I tell you what, it works. And I learned a little bit about orienteering and navigation in Boy Scouts, and I was a teacher for a little while. I've lost some of my skills, but when in doubt, always have your compass. So this is kind of how I do it. So I have like what I call sort of like my emergency kind of stuff. So fire starter kit, matches, and that kind of stuff. All my rope go in this yellow bag. All my toiletries and personal items and stuff. First aid kit, which I know is kind of survival, but not necessarily. But anyway, this bag is bigger than that one, so I can get more stuff in this one. So that's all my toiletry stuff. What is that? Toilet paper? Yeah. Oh, my trowel. This is my poop scoop right here. It's a $1 plastic spade that I got at where did I get this at? Menards, I think. I just attach it to the outside of my pack. 99 cents. Can't bring myself to buy the $20 freaking titanium spade, although I'm sure the titanium spade would be far superior. There's duct tape I don't know, if something happens with my tent, I poke a hole in it by accident. So that is, I've been talking for 13 minutes. That is pretty much, this is what goes in my pack. So clothes-wise, I have, I wanted to show off my pants. Okay, well, I'm not going to model the pants. I'll show them off. I'm not going to model them for you. So back when I was getting started with backpacking, I didn't really know much about what kind of clothes to wear. And I think I just went on Amazon and I searched for men's hiking pants. And I came across this brand, Outdoor Sports. I don't think that's the brand. If you look that up, I don't think that'll pop up. But anyway, yeah, well, that's on the label there, Outdoor Sports. And I think that basically it's small, medium, large, extra large. I got an extra large for some reason. They're a little loose, but this is what I like about these is that they are, I forget what this style of pant is called, like switchback or something like that, but basically they're pants, but you can, and they have the lower part of the pant leg is zippered on, and so you can remove them when you get warm. This stuff is very flexible, it's very lightweight, and it's not waterproof, it's water resistant, so it will soak through if you're a heavy downpour or fall in the river or something like that. However, it is very lightweight. I don't remember. Let's see if I can see if this says what it's made out of. Nylon and spandex. This stuff dries out super quick. It is actually fairly durable too. I have down in the Ozark region of southern Missouri, the Mark Twain National Forest, there's a lot of briars, and I have snagged on a bunch of them, and there's so far no holes or nothing. I think these pants were $30, $35. So again, they run a little large. I'm a 30, well now I'm a 32 waist. I was a little heavier back then. And I got these, but you know, you just put a belt on and cinch it up, and they're great. I love these pants. I have two pair, a green pair and a black pair. And I got this switchback. I went with this style because Boy Scout pants are like that. Uniform pants, Boy Scout uniform pants. You can buy the straight leg, well, I guess I'll call them sort of one piece Boy Scout pants, but the ones that I grew up with in the style that eventually that I bought for my son and for myself was the kind where the legs are zippered on and you can take them off. So that's why I decided to go with this kind, and I am very happy with this purchase. I think what I like about them the most is that they're lightweight. Now I'm going cold weather camping, so one might think, well, maybe you need a little heavier hiking pants, or maybe, you know, some a mid layer or under layer. I find that my legs do not get very cold. If I could keep my upper body warm, then the rest of my body stays pretty warm, and I don't need to worry about it. So those are my pants. And the rest of my clothes are over here is kind of wadded up, because this is what I'm going to take. I didn't really talk about it, but I take, so there's a nylon shirt, short sleeve, that goes right against my skin. This is a nylon long sleeve shirt that goes over this one. And if it's cold enough, then I'll put the fleece on over this one. Definitely is good about keeping moisture off your body. This is a gaiter. I started using these. These are great. I use them as a headband or a head wrap if it gets cold. And since my pants are too big, I use my old Boy Scout belt. Boy, what I like about this belt, not that it's a Boy Scout belt, is that it is an adjustable thing. It does not when you loop it through, it doesn't have holes. So you're kind of stuck with one hole or the other. This one you can adjust the tightness as much as you need to. And my kid keeps yelling at his game, so I'm about to go give him the business. Okay. I gave him a little bit of the business. Turns out his older brother, they're both goofballs. The older brother was messing with the younger one who's playing his video game. And you know what happens when brothers start messing with each other when one of them's playing a video game. It can get pretty ugly pretty quick. Especially during boss battles. They're doing God of War, the most recent release. I have to say, I like video games a little bit. Those video games, the graphics are unbelievable. I grew up with an Atari system and didn't really get another game system until I was in my 30s, and it was a PS2. The graphics now are impressive. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, the pants and my clothes. So that's pretty much what I do. And for this trip, I'm trying to decide if I want to take my fleece shirt or if I want to take my puffy coat. I really like my puffy coat for just general use. It's a REI 650 down, so it's by itself with a t-shirt underneath. You can stay warm and 40 degrees-ish. But on a camping trip with multiple layers, it'll be nice, but it's the only one I got, and I kind of don't want to mess it up. So what I might do is just bring the fleece and use that, because I think they're both going to pack down. The fleece top, it's a little bulky. It'll probably take up a little more space in my pack, but I think that might be better than jacking up my only down coat. And I also have an REI jacket. So as I mentioned in my previous video, I've always been a little careful with money, but over the last 6 months to a year, I've been trying to get out of that, just spend a little more for some quality stuff. So I have an REI rain jacket. I really like that too. So I'll probably take that, and if it's cold enough, I can put that on top of everything and use that for an extra layer of warmth and a windbreaker. But I think it's mostly going to be like in the 40s and just like cloudy and rainy. So it'll be a little humid, which may or may not help with, I guess that could make you more cold or not as cold. I guess it depends. So that's what I want to show you about my clothes. And I think the next thing, I think I've covered everything. Oh, my pocket knife. I kind of forget. So this is the only thing I take. First time I went backpacking, I took an axe or a hatchet because I thought I was going to be like, bushwhacking, bushcrafting, and hiking. Chopping down wood make a big roaring fire. And by the time I got to camp, I was so freaking tired. It was all I could do was just to make a small little fire and then go to bed. So anyway, this is what I take. It's Leatherman multi-tool. This is one of their base models, but that knife, that blade is something else, man. And it stays sharp for a long time. You just sharpen it up, take care of it. Got a little screwdriver. It's got a Phillips head and a flathead bit on one end, and your pliers, and it can hook to the belt. I have no idea how much it weighs, but I like that knife a lot. There you go. Packs down real nice. I usually just clip that to my belt. Okay, so that is, except for food, I went through my pack list, my spreadsheet, and I pretty much have everything here that's going in there, which when I'm done. But here my pack is upright, so I'll kind of give you a little bit more of a look. So this is a Hiker 3700. It's a 60 liter. So it's got a pouch in here. This is for a water bladder, but I use it for my windscreen, my footprint, and I actually have been keeping my tent poles there. Anyway, so there's my sleeping bag, the Kelty Cosmic Down 20 something or other, and I got right here, this is the they call it the sleeping bag compartment. So it's not, it's got a flap in there that you can zipper up and it can make it its own compartment, but I find that I need all the space. I need to get all the space out of this pack as I can. So fortunately it zippers, you can unzip it, and it's just one big long, barrel pack. So down here is my tent. So that's pretty good. So I got it's not ultralight stuff, but I got a little bit less than half of my pack is my tent and my sleeping bag, and this is not compressed down. I can get in there and easily compress it down and get it down to probably about right there. So that gives me all this extra space for the rest of my gear. And it's got, let's see, 2 pockets on the outside front right here. There's the other one right there. Here, I'll use this side right here. This is obviously not a very good review or look of my pack, but it's like half full. So it's got compression straps here. Got this elastic mesh pouch for drinks or whatever. I keep 2 water bottles on one side and 1 water bottle and my bear spray. I know you're supposed to probably wear your bear spray on your belt, but I often will leave it in there. And then there's the hip belt. It does have a hood attachment, I think. I'm not sure. I don't believe this is detachable. Yeah, because that is attached to the straps. Yeah, so this hood is not detachable. But anyway, it's got a zippered opening here in the front. On the outside, there's a zippered opening right there on the inside. And when you cram all your stuff in here, you cinch it up right there. And then the outside, so for me, mine broke, so I've had to tie it. But anyway, cinch it up there, and then this goes around and clips right there, and then the hood goes over top. And then generally I put my camp chair here because I tried sticking my camp chair in there, but it's not, the camp chair isn't packed in here, flush like your air mattress. So there's a lot of pockets. It's really awkward, and the poles in there are really rigid, so I decided to leave it on the outside of my pack. So I basically just kind of stick it here. The drawstring on the chair bag I attach. Well, anyway, I'll show you what that looks like when I'm ready to go. Then I put my thermarest down here on the outside. And if it's raining and I need to cover my pack with the rain cover, what I do is I take one of my ropes. So I do use my paracord sometimes, but I detach the thermarest because I got it horizontal, and I put it vertical right here in the middle, and I use a piece of paracord, and I basically attach it to the back of the pack that way, and then that way it allows me to get the rain cover over and completely cover my pack just in case. I said it's waterproof, but hey, never hurts to maximize your pack's dryness, keeping the stuff on the inside dry. So anyway, that's my pack. All right, next is going to be my food bag and what I brought to eat. I'm going to pause it. I'll do a quick rundown of what I'm taking on this trip. And as you've seen, I got 2 nights, 2 drinks per day, 2 drinks per night. And probably more than I need. I'll probably take maybe 1 or 2 of those out because I really generally don't drink on camping trips. So I did the last time, and I don't know. When I'm by myself, I don't know, just kind of getting a little buzz on. It's not quite as fun as if I got somebody there with me to goof around with and joke with and, you know, share stories over the campfire. So it's not quite as fun. So I may not take all 4 of those. Okay, I got most of my food out of my food bag so you can see what I'm taking for this trip. Okay, favorite trail mix. Gorp. I said that in my last video. Gorp. Good old raisins and peanuts. So that's what's in there, plus M&Ms. So, as I said, I know a lot of people get concerned about calories. I actually look more at protein and fat content. Because protein and fat burn a lot slower than carbs, and I find that a lot of stuff might be high in calories, but if there's not a lot of fat or protein in it, it just goes right through me and I'm hungry all the time. So anyway, this has, for a quarter cup, 140 calories. It's only 4 grams of protein, so it's not all that good. Where's the fat? Saturated fat. I don't know if it's how well that's focusing in, but it's 8 grams of fat, so for a quarter cup. But I could go through a half a cup easily in one sitting, sometimes a full cup. So, now you're talking about 8 to 16 possibly grams of protein, and you're up in your total fat to 20-30%. That's for snacking. But also, it's for snacking, but it's also I will eat it with breakfast, which is my oatmeal. For breakfast, I just like quick and easy stuff. So that's 12 grams of protein. Plus you throw in a little powdered milk in there. Beef up your protein content. And I take these, so for a 2-night trip, so I probably won't get there until around lunchtime. So that means, Friday night, Saturday night, so that's 2 dinners, 1 lunch on the trail, and I'll probably eat lunch right as I head out on the trail. So lunch is not part of this because I'm going to make a sandwich and I won't make that till tomorrow. Anyway, I got a bunch of coffees. These are tiny little coffees. Looks like a lot, but I just take extra because I like strong coffee, not necessarily strong caffeine. I just like strong flavor. I do not like weak or thin coffee. I'll take 3 protein bars, and I have a giant bag of beef jerky. Oh, I say it's a giant bag. It's 10 ounce, I think. And, the great value, it's not the best. It's a good value, but it's not the best. It's a little tough to chew, but it does the job. What is it? 11 grams of protein per serving. And I usually will take about half of this, and I just leave the rest of it for the house. 11 grams it says it's about 10 servings. So if I take 5 servings, that's 50 grams of protein right there. Not a lot of calories, but that's okay. And then my 2, so that's dinner and 2 breakfasts. I'll probably eat 2 of those for breakfast on Saturday morning, and then 1 of them for breakfast on Sunday morning. Because I like to, on my last day of a camping trip, my last morning, I like to be as close to my car as I can, like about a mile away. So it's a half hour to 45-minute hike. And then I usually will have some food left over, and I'll have that on the drive out, and then I'll grab lunch on the road. So anyway, and then there's that. So I just drink water. I don't take anything fancy all right, my kids came out, so I don't really remember where I left off, but this is a 2-night not quite 3-day food bag thing. So when I was cooking my lunches, I'd have in this, there'd be a couple of extra ramen packs, plus like some chicken packs or a rice pack. So this is actually, doesn't look like much, I guess because of the mountain house. And I'm going to have like at least one sandwich, and I might pack another sandwich to eat on the road. But anyway, so that's that. I'm going to pack it up so you can see what it looks like in my food bag. Okay, so I went through the whole beef jerky pack in here, even though I'm going to take half of it. So this is, but anyway, this is kind of what it looks like. It's got this kind of system where you fold it up and then you clip it, and I love it. It's got this ring right here, and so I attach a carabiner to a rope, and then that's how I hang up my, I do a bear hang. I don't have a bear, what do you call it, bear can, because they look like they're pretty big. But I don't know, I might investigate it because it certainly seems a little easy. It might be a little easier to deal with in a food bag because then you just screw the lid on. But the problem, what I like about having a food bag is like when, as you eat, that gets smaller, whereas a bear can doesn't get any smaller. So we'll see how much my food bag weighs. So I bought me a little luggage scale thing. This cheap ass thing from, you guessed it, Walmart. Anyway, so let's see. I'll pause this. I don't know if you can see that, but it's at 3.7 pounds. Definitely seems like a bit much for a 2-night trip, but again, I have more. I'll just leave that there. I have more probably food in there than I need. Like I got the 4 bottles of alcohol. I probably won't take all that trail mix. And I'm definitely not taking all of that beef jerky. Oh, my brain's kind of starting to fade out on me. So anyway, so that is my food bag. So anyway, I'll probably drop it down to 3 pounds. So it'll probably be 3.5 pounds, which I guess is not too bad for 3 days. So there you have it. That is what is going in my pack. And so I'm very curious to see how much my pack is going to weigh because, well, the trekking poles won't be part of the pack weight, but pretty much I think everything on this table is going in or on my pack, the outside of my pack. So there you go. This is my basic gear list for the crap that I take on my backpacking trips. All right, so there you go. That's what I do. Regular guy, 54 years old, 2-night trip. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm kind of very curious to see how I'm going to hold up during the rain, because it looks like there's a very good possibility it's going to rain off and on all day on Saturday, my main day that I'm on my trip. So we'll see. And my next video is I'm going to have my pack packed up, and we'll see what it looks like and how much it weighs. All right, see you.